Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 23 rebuild. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the Green Bay Packers, but with Jordan Love starting at QB. I have now traded away Aaron Rodgers for a next year's, aka 2024 first round pick, because it seems like there's a stalemate between the Jets and the Packers right now. It seems like the Jets aren't even willing to give up a first round pick, even though a few months ago they said they were willing to give up 2 first round picks. But apparently that's not the case anymore. Either way, I gave it away for a next year's first round pick. But as of right now, we got Christian Watson, Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, Jordan Love, Romeo Doubs, who has some potential. Right side of the O-line needs work. Left side is great with Elton Jenkins and David Bakhtiari. Tight end, I think probably the Packers are going to take Dalton Kincaid if he is there at pick number 14, I believe it is, or 15. But here on the defensive side of the ball, we got Kenny Clark, Rashawn Gary. I like the 3-4 scheme, actually. I was about to switch it to 4-3, but now that I see it, I do like this with Campbell, Quay Walker, Kyrus Barnes, Preston Smith on the outside. I completely forgot about Preston Smith, if I'm being real. Darnell Savage, who should have, I believe, I don't think it should be superstar dev. Matter of fact, I don't know what it's supposed to be, so I'm not going to mess it up. I'm just going to leave it at superstar dev. And I think Jair should have X Factor, but I'm just going to leave it where it is. I think it's all right for now. And apart from that, the team looks all right, and it is now time to move into the draft. And with the first round pick, the Green Bay Packers select tight end Dalton Kincaid out of Utah. Hidden development, 85 jumping, 84 speed, 85 acceleration. A lot of people will be like, oh, you should have gone receiver. I think the Packers will honestly utilize tight end over receiver. They just hate taking receivers in the first round. They may take one in the second round. So Dalton Kincaid is going to be the first round pick. In the second round, we're picking up Josh Downs out of North Carolina. A lot of people may be mad at me for this. Some people say he's a first round pick. There's a lot of people who say he was a second round pick. So we are in the second round picking up Josh Downs out of North Carolina. 95 speed, 94 acceleration, hidden development, 5'10". He's going to be a slot guy for us. So this is the team after the draft. Josh Downs is going to be wide receiver 2. Romeo Doubs wide receiver 3. Well, Romeo Doubs wide receiver 2, my bad. Josh Downs, slot wide receiver / wide receiver 3. Christian Watson is going to be wide receiver 1. Christian Watson, I did not know he was 6'4". Definitely has the size for wide receiver 1. Dalton Kincaid as well. So I like the young receiving core that we got. We also got a very experienced offensive line, 2 good running backs, and a youthful QB. Defensively, we're looking great as well. They picked up this guy who, Yasir Abdullah out of Louisville. I don't know who that is, but sure, he's going to be our replacement for Preston Smith eventually, which I like to see. Skinner, I got in the third round, JL Skinner, and he's 73 overall, just normal dev. Rasul Douglas is honestly underrated, and Eric Stokes is honestly, I think he should be higher overall than 78. But anyways, let's move into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark. As we are 4-3, third in the division, highly contested division. We could be at the bottom of the division if we don't beat the Lions here. I never do the breakout challenges because they never actually work out. So players ready to negotiate. Rashawn Gary has a very high interest in re-signing with the team. That is exactly what I want from him. Usually he always hits free agency. That's not going to happen here. Darnell Savage, of course, I'm going to want him back. 4-year deal for him, and he re-signs as well. AJ Dillon doesn't want to be here because he wants to be running back number 1. And if he wants that, then of course I'm just going to let him go. Right guard, he just doesn't want to be here because the team doesn't have a franchise QB. That could change at the end of the season. We don't know. Jordan Love, he's going to be our guy. That's the entire point of the rebuild. Going to give him a 5-year deal. He resigns, and it's not stupid expensive because he's only a 73 overall. So very good signings like what we got here. We still have quite a decent bit of cap left. Scouting national focus, though, I think is going to have to be interior offensive line. That is what I'm going to need to work towards long term. Then maybe defensive back, because Rasul Douglas will not last forever, obviously. But let's move in to the playoffs. And here we are in the playoffs, coming off a 45-0 loss to the Raiders. 7-10. Okay, thanks, EA. I don't know how I'm supposed to do anything about that. Jordan Love, very good passer, passing yards, 7th best offense, 16th best defense. Almost 5,000 yards, 23 interceptions is unacceptable, and 90 passer rating is not good. Rushing, Aaron Jones, 15 touchdowns, 4.5 per carry, 1,200 yards, decent season. Josh Downs, great rookie season, double-digit touchdowns, 1,200 yards. Christian Watson, 1,100 yards. Dalton Kincaid, 110 receptions, 1,100 yards. two of our rookies popping off. Defensively, Quay Walker, 113 tackles for a loss, 14 for Preston Smith and Kenny Clark. Sacks, 8.5 for Preston Smith, Kenny Clark, and Rashawn Gary. Interceptions, 3 for Devondre Campbell. Safeties on the team is 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. So I'm probably just going to have to switch up my schemes. And apart from that, let's move in, not to file staff, but into the offseason. And the Ravens with Lamar Jackson beats Desmond Ridder in the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl MVP. Josh Allen wins the league MVP. And Packers, Josh Downs wins Rookie of the Year. So he should have at least Superstar Dev. And if he doesn't, I'll give it to him because he started with at least Star Dev. What does he have? He has Superstar Dev. Dalton Kincaid has Superstar Dev as well. Did he get that or did he come with that? He got that. He just had a really good season, 110 receptions as well. For a rookie especially, that's really, really good. Our receiving core is looking very, very nice now. Defensively, it looks like we're this... Ooh, this guy is superstar? No way. That's crazy. Hey, he just came with it, and the CPU picked him as well. I honestly might just outright cut Preston Smith now because he's a 75 overall, and we already have his replacement. Preston Smith, you've done good bidding. Yes, you had 8.5 sacks along with the other people on our team. Making sure, yeah, this guy's right outside linebacker. Probably going to end up cutting Preston Smith just because that guy has Superstar Dev, and we're going to develop him a little better. But anyways, let's move to the re-signings. In the NFC North, it looks like there are no Packers that retire. Brian Bulaga signs with the Bears. Don't think he's ever going to get signed, really. Quite a long time. He's quite old, and he's now injury-prone. A.J. Dillon wants to be running back number 1. We still don't technically have the franchise QB tag, so he can walk. Everyone else here just don't have an interest in. So other than that, guys, we have a $54 million to spend. Let's hit free agency. After free agency, I ended up getting Chidobe Awuzie and Grant Delpit. So a superstar, strong safety, and a good depth player. And Chidobe's more than depth. He's an 85 overall at defensive back. So let's get to the draft. At pick number 10, I'm picking up a defensive end, Darrell Patterson out of California, 92 strength, 78 speed, hidden dev, 6'5", 300 pounds. And this was the pick that we got for the Aaron Rodgers trade, so huge payoff. And with my other first round pick, I'm picking up left tackle out of Oregon, 85 strength, 81 jumping at 315 pounds, and 80 acceleration as well. Hidden development, I'm going to move him to right tackle. And in the third round, I'm picking up center Cody Peterson out of LSU, 6'5", almost 300 pounds, 85 strength, 78 acceleration, and hidden development. Now, this is the team after the draft, and this guy, I already moved him to right tackle, so he should be playing right tackle, but of course, EA is always like, no, not allowed to. This guy, Zach Tom, out of Wake Forest, don't care. I'm just going to cut him because I know the CPU would auto-adjust my rosters and it would just continue to piss me off, not start the guy that I want to start, which was my first-round pick. So our offensive line looks significantly better. We got good weapons. They just need to develop along with our quarterback. Defensively as well, Patterson is a 76 overall. He looks like a great pick. And as I said before, Preston Smith is only a 75 overall. It takes up a lot of money. I'll take that penalty just to save some money as well. We have a superstar right outside linebacker. We can definitely use him on this chart as well. Dude, come on. At least be the starter. Come on now. And Rasul Douglas, Chidobe Awuzie, Grant Delpit. Skinner is going to be a second string, unfortunately. And yeah, specialist. Got all that. Stokes, Patterson. Do I want Patterson rushing off the edge? I want the superstar, honestly, rushing off the edge. Patterson's going to be like a run stuffer, more like. Campbell's there. Offensively, we look pretty good. And also, I picked up a star development kicker, at least. Yeah, in the 7th round. 73 overall, and I got a 69 overall punter. Nice. So apart from that, let's move in to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark because we are 5-2 top of the division. Breakout linebacker. Again, I always just skip them because it never happens. They're always like, I had a pretty quiet game out there, coach. It's like, okay, thanks for wasting my time. making sure never to give you a chance ever again. But scouting national focus is going to be defensive back. Players ready to negotiate. Let's see what we have here. We have Aaron Jones, who doesn't want to be here. Team has a franchise QB. Again, that could change at the end of the season. David Bakhtiari kind of wants to be here. I'll give him a 3-year deal. He resigns. Hopefully he doesn't retire. Kenny Clark kind of wants to be here. I'll increase the salary and the bonus a little bit more too. He resigns on a 3-year deal. Rasul Douglas. I'll do a 1-year deal. It's pretty cheap as well since he's defensive back number 3. Eric Stokes, I would have liked back. He doesn't like the scheme. He just doesn't like the team, and he doesn't have a mentor. I mean, you have Jair at the position. I don't understand how that's not enough. Honestly, you can walk if you're going to be like that. Josh Myers can walk. not going to pay someone who just doesn't want to be here. It's just, we're an underdog in the Super Bowl chase, and he doesn't like that. We're 5-2, but okay. Kyrus Barnes is not bad depth. I'll do 2 years with Kyrus Barnes. Pretty cheap overall. And this guy wants to be here, but I feel like I can just draft another right guard without having to pay them. That's the big thing. I just don't want to overpay someone who's just average. Anyways, let's move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, top of the division, here to face the 11-6 Seattle Seahawks, so we beat them at the midseason mark as well at Week 8. We're also coming off a win against the Arizona Cardinals, 28-23. Stats and awards, hopefully Jordan Love did good. And yeah, that should be a franchise QB right there. I don't know why anyone else wouldn't label him as one. So he did a very, very good season, 9th for MVP race, so I think that should label him as your franchise QB. 11th best offense in the NFL. 22nd defense doesn't make sense. 4,800 yards, 36 touchdowns. Glad he cleaned up the interception problem. 113 pass rating is great. Aaron Jones, 21 touchdowns, 4.5 per carry, and almost 1,400 yards. Josh Downs continues to ball out. Double-digit touchdowns, 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns. Kincaid, over 100 receptions, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. Romeo Doubs, almost 1,000 yards. Christian Watson still doing pretty good. Devondre Campbell, 109 solo tackles and 133 total tackles. Tackles for a loss, 18 for Kenny Clark. Sacks, 11 for Rashawn Gary. Interceptions, 4 for Rasul Douglas. Safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. Also, I want to see real quick on the sacks. Did that outside linebacker do really good? Kenny Clark, he had 4 sacks at a starting outside linebacker. Not crazy, but I guess he has Kenny Clark and, Rashawn Gary starting in front of him, competing for sacks. But can we get a playoff win? Jordan Love does not get his first playoff win. We lose, no wild card, of course. Let's move into the offseason. And the Raiders beat the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. Josh Jacobs wins the Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow wins the league MVP. There are no awards here for the Green Bay Packers. Really, our defensive end didn't get any. I mean, he wouldn't get Rookie of the Year because I didn't start him at rush defensive end. I'll just let the CPU pick from now on. And both of our offensive linemen have star dev. Josh Downs doesn't get upgraded, but Kincaid gets X Factor. That's awesome to see. Defensively, looks like we are the exact same, unfortunately. Patterson only has star dev. Devontae Wyatt, I forgot they even got. Damn, he was 24 when they drafted him? He was mad old. Already being 27 is not a good look. Not a good look at all. But hopefully the defense can step up its rushing game because apparently it's not doing very well. Let's go to the re-sign players. In the NFC North, Hitman retires. That's good for us. Go team. Anyways, let's see the players ready to negotiate. We're going to have, again, Aaron Jones. How do we not have a franchise QB? He was top 10 for MVP. Guess I'm just going to have to overpay for this. I need a running back in Madden. If you don't have one, your team just collapses. Eric Stokes, if you're going to be picky as hell, you can just walk. Everyone else here can walk, don't have an interest in them. And I have $91 million to spend. Let's hit free agency. After free agency, I got Penei Sewell, Josh Sweat, so I moved Devontae Wyatt into the inside, and Nate Davis. So my plan was to get Penei Sewell and take my right tackle and move him to right guard. But then I signed Nate Davis, and I forgot that I was going to do that plan, so I still thought that I had no right guard. So now I have my first round pick being a second string. But don't worry about it. You know, maybe David Bakhtiari could retire. Who knows? So let's get into the draft. In the first round, I'm picking up defensive back Vernon Cooper out of LSU. 91 speed, 92 change of direction. Good athlete all around. He's a zone corner. 6'1", 202. Unfortunately, only normal dev, though. Here we are after the draft again. Yeah, I know I messed up with that tackle situation, but again, David Bakhtiari could potentially retire. Receiving core is looking great, especially with Kincaid, with X Factor, and Josh Downs with Superstar. And yeah, our running back core is looking good as well. It's just about Jordan Love developing. He had a great season the previous season, but unfortunately, Cooper is only 73 normal dev. Probably going to be the last season for Rasul Douglas, but our run defense should be great with Patterson, White at a second string, Josh Sweat off the edge too. This should be a really, really good team. Yeah, Josh Sweat is rushing, Kenny Clark, Rashawn Gary. Like, there should be no problem. I'm going to put Cooper in the slot. Rasul Douglas can just be cornerback number 3. Dobbs is going to be in the slots, even though it should be Josh Downs. But anyways, let's move into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark. As we are 3-3, second in the division, we can drop all the way to the bottom if we lose here this week. Scouting national focus, we really don't need much other than just for Jordan Love to develop. I was wondering if you could scouting national focus fullback. That would be crazy. Receiver fours don't do anything. I already have depth at corner. My offensive line is complete. My defensive line is great. Good edge rushers, good safeties. I don't need anything. Scouting focus is going to be punt. Imagine. I really don't know. It's really got me conflicted here. I guess more linebackers wouldn't hurt. I mean, we already have so much depth with Kyrus Barnes and Devondre Campbell. Maybe he retires. So anyways, let's see the players ready to negotiate in the third season. It's just about the team actually developing. Chidobe Awuzie still maintains an 85 overall, so of course I'm going to re-sign him and increase that bonus as well. He re-signs. Quay Walker has a moderate interest in being here. Let's increase the bonus and salary a little bit. He re-signs. And then Christian Watson doesn't want to be here. This is honestly not even bad if I give him player friendly. That's not even a bad contract. I'm fine with that. Rasul Douglas can walk. Romeo Dobbs kind of wants to be here. I'll give him a 4-year deal. He resigns. Devontae Wyatt doesn't want to be here, and honestly, being 20, he was so old going into the draft. I did not know he was that old, and there was so much hype around him too. I just don't want to pay for him. If he's already going to be 28, regression starts at 28 for most players. He's going to be 28 by the next season, and he's not even 80 overall. No. Everyone else here can walk. Don't care. I did not know Devontae Wyatt is that old. Anyways, let's hit the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, top of the division, 10-7. The Falcons are a better team than us, not in overall terms, but in terms of record. That's what I hate about the playoffs, dude. It's not about how good your team is. It's just how shitty the rest of your division is. It's stupid how the playoff brackets work. But anyways, we're a 90 overall team. We're 2 overalls higher than them. We should be able to win coming off a win to the Commanders. Stats and awards, Jordan Love. He had a very good season. Other than pass rating is 23rd, but still it's 104, not bad. 9th best offense in the NFL, 4th best defense, and 4,700 yards, 36 touchdowns, too many interceptions, averaging a very good amount of yards per game. Only 104 pass rating. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not like exceptionally good. Rushing wise, Aaron Jones, 12 touchdowns, 4.6 per carry, almost 1,400 yards, 3 fumbles on the season. Receiving wise, Romeo Dobbs tearing it up in the slot, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. Josh Downs, 8 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Probably his worst season, but that's not really a bad season. That's probably a good thing. That out of all things is his worst season. Not a bad season. Kincaid, almost 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Christian Watson really hasn't been getting involved too much, but it's not really a bad thing. Devondre Campbell, 112 tackles for a loss, 19 for Josh Sweat, sacks, 15.5 for Josh Sweat. I did not think he would lead the team in sacks. Rashawn Gary, 14 sacks. Kenny Clark with 10 sacks. 2 interceptions for Vernon Cooper, the rookie. Not very many interceptions. Safeties, 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. So, can we beat the 12-5 Atlanta Falcons, who are 2 overalls less than us, to move on to the divisional round? Jordan Love get his first overall playoff win, and he does. He has 1-1 in the playoffs. Going to face the 14-3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have Joe Mixon, probably have Anthony Richardson too. We beat them 28-24. Here to face the 11-6 Los Angeles Rams to move on to the Super Bowl. Let's move into it. Here we are against the Los Angeles Rams. 3-0 start for the Rams. Our offense isn't really waking up. Finally, first touchdown of the game there. And we get back-to-back. There we go, 14-6, still 1-score game. Let's make it a 2-score game, please. There it is, 21-6. Our defense is locking up. 24-6, 31-6. Game's over. Wow. We just needed a first quarter warm-up. They somehow got a safety as well. Doesn't matter as we blow them out. 38-8. Let's move on to the Super Bowl. Here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the 10-7 Houston Texans. I'm assuming Bryce Young is their quarterback. Usually CJ Stroud goes at 1. Yeah, Bryce Young is the quarterback. What development? Really? Only normal Devin is a 91? Oh, I guess it's because the morale is +4, but still pretty high overall. Guess he's really high on Bengals roster. Why is he a normal dev, by the way? Shouldn't he be like star dev at least? I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, Jordan Love still has star dev, unfortunately. The rest of the offensive line, the rest of the offense just looks the same, unfortunately. Defensively, it looks like Josh Sweat gets superstar dev. Apart from that, everyone else looks the exact same. So can we get our first Super Bowl win against the Houston Texans with Jordan Love? Let's move into it. Here we are in Atlanta in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. It's crazy that Mercedes-Benz has a Superdome in Atlanta and in New Orleans, and they're division rivals, but whatever. 10-17 in the third quarter, 17-17. Defense did not lock up. 24-17 offense did not perform. And yeah, that's going to be the game. 2-score lead. We couldn't come back that late in the fourth. 17-31 as Bryce Young and the Houston Texans win the Super Bowl. And that is quite unfortunate. Why is it not showing? Okay, it wasn't showing Bryce Young. I don't know who number 13 was, but anyways, unfortunate. Let's move into the fourth and final season. Here we are after the Super Bowl. Bryce Young wins the Super Bowl MVP. Desmond Ridder wins the league MVP. Okay. There are no awards here for the Packers. We've already seen the team upgrades, so let's move into the re-signings. Nobody retires in the NFC North. Of course, as always, it's fine with me. David Bakhtiari does not retire, which is good. At the same time, we're not going to use our other offensive tackle. But Rasul Douglas can walk. Devontae Wyatt can walk. Everyone else here can walk. Let's see what's in free agency, considering we have money, but we really don't need that much. After free agency, we're just getting depth at the positions we lost, getting Dante Jackson and Eric Armstead to replace Rasul Douglas and Devontae Wyatt. But anyways, let's move into the draft. In the first round, I'm picking up middle linebacker Trevonte Bowen out of Notre Dame. 6'3", 247, 86 speed, 85 acceleration, great size, great athleticism, and hidden development. Now, this is the team going into the fourth and final season. I picked up Hardy in like the second round because he had 99 speed, but apparently he's wide receiver 5. The CPU got a left guard. Bowen is a 74 overall. Not even really going to go anywhere because Devondre Campbell, Quay Walker, and Kyrus Barnes. He's middle linebacker 4 on the chart, so he's going to do absolutely nothing. Bowens, sure, and yeah, oh, Bowens, and we got a Bowen. Interesting. But anyways, guys, apart from that, the team looks pretty good. Hopefully we can win the Super Bowl in the fourth and final season, and let's move in to the playoffs. Here we are finishing 13-4 top the division, first round bye with a 92 overall team. Look at those team ranks. Second in points per game for the defense and first in points per game for the offense. Coming off a win to the Atlanta Falcons. Stats and awards, let's see what we got here. Jordan Love, baller. Is that going to be top 5 for MVP at least? Jordan Love, 4th for MVP. Best offense in the NFL, that's what I'm looking for. I'm sure the defense is like 30th or something. No, 3rd. Anyways, Jordan Love, almost 5,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, 9 receptions, great ratio, great rating, pass rating as well. 25 touchdowns, 5.1 per carry, 1,500 yards. That deserves an X factor for Aaron Jones. Josh Downs, 103 receptions. Dalton Kincaid, same receptions, less yards and less touchdowns though. See, guys, perfect example of same opportunity. Some people just take advantage of it more. No, I'm kidding. I don't care about this. Psychological credit. No. Anyways, 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns, 1,000 yards for Kincaid, 1,000 touchdowns for Christian Watson, and 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns for Christian Watson. His best season overall. Romeo Doubs, almost 1,000 yards, but only 4 touchdowns. Looking at it defensively, Quay Walker, 103 tackles for a loss, 13 for Josh Sweat. Sacks, 12.5 for Josh Sweat, 8.5 for Kenny Clark, only 5 for Rashawn Gary. 6 interceptions for Grant Delpit, 5 for Jair, and 4 for Dante Jackson. Very good interception season. 0 safeties and defensive touchdowns is 1 for Jair Alexander. So I'm surprised Jair hasn't got X Factor yet. But anyways, who are going to be playing in the divisional round? We better not lose in the divisional round. Our team is stacked out. 92 overall Packers versus the 89 overall Falcons, who we beat in week 18. It would make no logical sense if we lost this team. Okay, we beat them. Here to face the 11-6 Washington Commanders. I'm actually going to hop into this considering we haven't even won the Super Bowl yet, so let's move into it. Here we are in Green Bay, here to face the Washington Commanders, or the Redskins, whatever you want to call them. 0-7 start for us. 0-10, like that 2-score lead. That's always what I want to see. 3-score lead, make it even better. It was about to be a 4-score lead, but now it's a 4-score lead. Yeah, they're not going to catch up. Game's way over. Our defense shut down, and our offense just pounded them into the ground, dude. Couldn't do anything. We're going back-to-back Super Bowls. Here we are on the Super Bowl, here to face the 13-4 Chiefs. This is definitely going to be a harder task than the previous year, but for the upgrades, let's see what we got. What? Jordan Love just went from star to X Factor? I've never seen that. Superstar X Factor Dev. When did he get Superstar? Did I miss it last season? Dude just jumped. I never saw that, but okay. Sure, he has X Factor. Josh Downs had 103 receptions. Had a very good season and has always been consistent with us. 103 receptions for sure deserves Superstar X Factor with all those receptions being so consistent as well. So he's definitely going to get that Star Dev, Superstar X Factor, and Aaron Jones with 25 touchdowns, 5.1 per carry, 1,500 yards gets X Factor as well. Defensively, looking into it, it looks like Grant Delpit gets X Factor for having 6 interceptions. Yeah, Jair's a 99 and doesn't get an X Factor. Doesn't make sense. Once you hit a 99, you should automatically get X Factor. But anyways, let's see. if we can actually get a win here against the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's move into it. Here we are in Miami as we are going to get a 7-0 start as they hit the ball first 2, so that's good for us. It's a 2-score lead. We always like those, as always, boys. 3-score lead, 0-17. Defense is clamping, 3-17 at halftime. Defense continues to clamp. There it is, their first mistake. Bro, now our offense is not showing up. 17-24. Just hold on. Hold on. 17-24. Your Green Bay Packers are going to win the Super Bowl in the final season of this rebuild. Love to see it. Jordan Love gets his first Super Bowl win after going back-to-back Super Bowl. So anyways, guys, apart from that, I thank you guys all for watching. If you have made it this far, let me know down in the comments below which team you'd like me to rebuild next. We are going to look at the Super Bowl MVP. I'm assuming it's either Jordan Love or Aaron Jones. It'd be one of the two. But what do we got here? We have a Jordan Love as your Super Bowl MVP. There are no more awards here for your Green Bay Packers. Final look at the team is we have $98 million to spend in free agency as well. It's probably a lot of re-signed players as well. Really happy with the team we built. Very excited for this rebuild. I'm probably going to do a Cowboys rebuild next, but let me know if you have any suggestions down below, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.